Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks and shadows and see how they play out as karmic themes. So the readings are a little bit longer because, again, I go so deep into those areas, because a lot of times it's not about whether your person has feelings for you. And we want to know why our person is acting the way that they are. We want to know why they acted the way that they did, because it's affected us. And so understanding when we have a new perception, we're able to deal with that situation differently. When we're able to deal with the situation differently, we change the entire dynamic of the connection. And a lot of times, you're actually able to see a maybe not a fully balanced relationship, but you don't inherit any negative karmic retribution. You're able to escape that because you had foresight, were able to see the situation from not a perception of what you wanted it to be, but what it truly is. And that a lot of times is we have a karmic connection to someone. It's because, again, we perceive them as being somebody that they're not, especially if they're not treating us well. We have to understand why we're attracting what we're attracting in our life. So again, it's the more of the inner workings. Not that I won't see what your person did do and what they're going to do, but again, the real nugget of this channel is, again, the internal workings. Like, what are the spiritual blocks? What are the shadows? Why is it playing out as a karmic theme? And why are you attracting that type of energy into your life? And what do you need to do to shape shift the situation? Again, it is a more empowering, more a healing sound reading. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the words of the video in your comment bar. Cup that gave me a little bit of condensation. My cards got a little wet. All right. So the underlining energy is pride, pride. It's funny because I feel as if someone really wants to come back into your life, Virgo. It's just they can't figure out how to do it without, really surrendering their ego, without apologizing. And there's a sense that this person knows that you've been waiting for an apology and they just don't want to give you an apology. It's like, um, it's almost like a kid energy. Like, no, I know that that's what you're waiting for, so I'm going to hold back. And I feel like they held back so much that it made you look at this person a lot differently than how you perceive them. And this person knows that right now. So again, there's a sense that they don't know even like how to fix it. It was bad enough that they wouldn't apologize, but then like holding back on the apology to the point that they're not in your life now, that they have to figure out how to come back into your life. Well, again, this is very overstimulating for this person because they never saw this playing out this way. So again, the underlining energy is pride. They also would like to stay stubborn. It's like they really thought that you were going to, give in, trying to have a conversation. And really, it's like, I feel like they're looking at their behavior. Like whatever they did to hurt you, it actually hurt them more. That's the energy that I feel. But when you were with them, they acted like they didn't give a shit. They acted aloof, like they were like protecting their heart. And it's not like you didn't try and have a conversation with this person about what your needs were, or even like just anything. This person only likes surface talk. You're only allowed to talk like, I feel like somebody only like would talk like dirty, like talk, you know, like hey baby, like flirtatious, um, talk with passion, you know what I mean? But it aside from that, they wouldn't have a conversation with you any other way. And every time you would say, hey, listen, like we never have a conversation, you never talk to me about anything, they got defensive. So they wanted to keep it on the surface level. They wanted to keep it on the passion level. And like I said, it's like they made it very clear to you. And I feel like most people don't recognize that. There's a sense that you care about how you're perceived. You also care about yourself. You have self-worth. And this person is not used to dealing with people that hold your energy. They mistaken you. They mistake you because of, I feel like you're humble. I feel like you don't pay more attention to the material things in your life. You pay more attention to the internal things within your life, like emotionally, what fulfills you, what you're passionate about. You connect to people that mean something to you, where I feel like this person that you were connected to was very superficial. They might have presented themselves as being confident, a leader, but I don't really feel that. I feel like they got very defensive. And when you're saying, hey, like you're acting like you don't even care about me, you're acting aloof. Don't care whether or not I'm here or that I'm there. Like what, like you're not really in my life. So emotionally, you knew you that this person was not connected. And you just felt like they you knew that they had a hard time with the past, like meaning with their relationships in the past. But I feel like part of that was a, like an excuse, more of an excuse to not even try. It's like they came in like handicapped, they came in broken, giving you very little, acting like they don't care, but blaming it on their past relationships. Like almost like wearing their pain like a cloak, right? Where I feel like you also had a bad past, where, you've dated a few people that acted like they didn't emotionally care or weren't as emotionally invested, I should say, which made it look like they didn't really care as much. So you're very protective of your heart. So you knew actually what you were looking for when you entered into this relationship. I feel like, but it's a wound that keeps on playing out within your life. So I believe that both your past and this person's past are still like kind of influencing the your relationship now. Obviously it is with this person, but all other relationships and all new relationships, because there's a sense of not, this person sets up the relationship where you can't trust them. They won't let you get in deep. And then, and I say that on an emotional level because number one, they're going to be stubborn and hold back and not ask for like for forgiveness and not apologize and not take ownership, because then that would require them to change. And they don't want to change because they're afraid of the same thing from their past actually playing out again. And because they're so focused on what happened in the past, it continues to manifest within chaos within the relationship because they don't really give enough. Every person feels like they're lonely. And a lot of times what happens is that the person that's with them that's on a low vibration will then give more because it replays like a karmic theme within, I believe that all these people that your person has ever dated, they've always date people that are emotionally depleted. And it's from having parents that didn't give them the emotional support, that made them feel abandoned, that made them feel not good enough. So again, it triggers them to be perfect, right? To give, where this person expected you to give, where you didn't give. And because you didn't give, it put this person back into the original energy that they hold on to, which is shame. And it plays out as shame because they form attachments. Thing is that you're not an attachment. Thing is that you didn't play along in this energy. You didn't want to play along in this energy, obviously, because you saw it wasn't going to manifest into anything except for like giving all your energy to this person. And that's really what an attachment is. Attachment is like being connected to someone that emotionally can't give you, that emotionally never shows up for you and hurts you, but connected because they're giving you other things. And it's actually winds up being like a trauma bond. Like you're bonded to a person that keeps you stuck in that trauma from childhood. Which is about being lonely, feeling like no one's ever there for you, that you have to go through everything by yourself. Like you always felt alone in this connection, in which obviously the person acts like they don't give a shit in hopes that you're going to give them more because they are too afraid to invest because of their past relationships. Now, we know that this person tends to do it purposely now. It's like they just misjudged you. They thought that they were going to stonewall you. Again, which is, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to act like you don't mean anything to me. I'm going to give my attention to every other random connection, and I'm not going to give you anything so that it makes you feel a certain way so that you react. You didn't react. So that's why this person like feels guilty. And they feel guilty because they're looking at themselves again and seeing that, first of all, you're not like their past relationships. Whatever they saw through a distorted perception. And that was, again, from their trauma, from the experiences that they lived. That's number one. Number two, they're also having to look at their behavior, and their behavior keeps them stuck in a place of shame. Why? Because you didn't fall for it. It's like the moment that this person acted defensive to you and stopped talking to you, well, you detach from this person. Again, but and so really the irony is, it's like what was so strong was that there was a lot of passion. However, now I feel like you've lost the passion for this person, and that winds up winds up happening when people create trust issues. Intimacy issues is what comes from trust being broken, and that's really what we see. So there is a sense of this person can feel that your passion is gone and that it frustrates them because, listen, that was their power. The power was their passion, okay? Their passion, getting you to desire them. If you desire them and you lust them, well, you're only going to see what you want to see, which is, again, that's a person that's on a low vibration and a person that would have shame because they didn't get what they needed. I feel like you might have went through that, but I feel like you healed that. This person never dealt with a person that healed that. So they never knew what that was going to look like. So they never really thought that there was going to be any consequences. So that's why you might feel like, well, this person acts like they still don't give a shit. And it's like, no, they're in their pride. And they are also not emotionally intelligent. Someone that wants to play all these games and they knew what they were doing, well, was to get you to give them and them not really give anything. And hide behind, their past relationships so that you would feel bad, so that you would then show them so that you would overgive them. But either way, it would be that you would be giving them more. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation instead of surrender to it. Like, this person knows that they should forgive. It's like they don't understand why they still have a connection to you. Normally, they don't care how they toy with people. That's number one. Number two, it's also like, I don't know why you're in my life, but like, why is this connection? Why I can't seem to like shake this connection? And it's really because you just showed them a different version of what they thought. I feel like you triggered their abandonment issue. This person expected to trigger that within you. Whatever they expected to happen to you is what actually happened to them. And that's why they're like, it's hard for them to surrender to it, their pride, because then they had to have to acknowledge all the bullshit that they did, which that brings a place of shame because they know that it was wrong. It's not like it don't, but the problem is that they have feelings. Don't listen to other people, trust yourself to know the truth. I believe that like this person might ask a lot of people for their advice because you're not doing anything, you're not giving anything, so they don't know how to read you. There's a sense again, you're not so passionate about them because you can feel when the person is still connected. I mean, obviously, it's through the heart and mind, but that heart is all about passion. It's feeling this person feels like you're disconnecting. They feel them losing you. So they're like, I don't really know how to read this situation, but they're going to be told everything and everything, and birds of a feather flock together. So this person has a lot of wounds. They're going to be connected to people that also have a lot of wounds, and it's not good because they'll wind up always having to be reliant on other people for advice because they can't trust themselves. But that's because of their past relationship. So that's part of like where they say they still hide behind that, which is my past relationships always still continue. They still affect my current relationships because they play out as chaos in the relationships. Well, it's because this person is not, doesn't communicate, doesn't want to be transparent, doesn't want to relinquish control, has to give, has to be vulnerable. These things are very scary for this person to be vulnerable. I'm trying to figure out this connection. I've never experienced anything like it before. So again, it's not that they don't feel. They feel, but they don't like where you would feel like someone that you're really attracted to. There's a connection, a deep connection. You might be like, yay, this is exciting. I'm going to meet the love of my life. I feel like it triggers this person because it's like the past relationships were not this deep. And I feel like they had problems. They had problems wherever there's chaos in a relationship, it means that there's problems and that those problems begin to bleed into money issues, that bleed into other areas of our life, right? That's why it's really important who we have in our life. And this person hasn't had good people in their life. So they like to act like they don't really care that much so that it triggers people to give to them. But that only works in, again, wounded people. You're not wounded. Now this person's like, I don't really like, again, you're making things difficult. So now I really have to look at the relationship. And that's where it's like, I know that the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation like, why? Why can't I control this? What power do you have over me? What do I need to learn? Like it creates a lot of anxiety. You see how I'm acting? I'm asking myself a lot of questions, which people that are in relaxed situations say, only in the now do I get divine guidance. Only in the moment that I am dealing with a person will I actually know how I feel. This person is trying to figure out things before they're in the relationship due to their past relationships and all the trauma that they went through it. So that's why they're like, I'm trying to figure out this connection. How do you figure out the connection? You can't figure out the connection. That's not a logical or analytical thing. Either you are or you're not. Either you do or you don't. But again, no, this person's going to say, no, I'm going to figure it out. And I'm not going to figure it out. I'm going to remove my heart from the situation because I can't control what my heart feels. But being that I can't control what my heart feels, I'm not going to take it into consideration at all. It must not be logical. It's not going to know the right thing. So again, this person gets all in their own head. They get in their own way. They get overstimulated, which, by the way, when we're overstimulated, we can't logically think either. So then we're just stuck and dumb. And that's really why this person then is like, let me ask everybody. Let me ask everybody. So what do you think? Do you think that I should be with this person? Do you think that this person's a good person? Do you think? And they tell them, but no one really cares. And then they're reading the people that they're telling. Well, what do you mean by that? So it can, because they have trust issues. But again, trust comes from trusting yourself, not other people. It's because obviously if we don't have discernment, then it's like, again, then we're trying to figure it out in our mind. And then we're going to be coming from the most logical and analytical way, which is, again, very linear. It's very limited, and it's only what we see. And so that's like, again, disconnection. But this person's like, no, I can't trust what I feel because every time I do, I don't get a good, the relationship doesn't work out. So I have to be in control. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say. And I even replay our conversations in our head, which this person replays the conversations in their head a lot because they are an overthinker and they read into everything that you say. And they're, again, have not healed from their past experiences, which is why all of this played out, why this person's like, I want to be in the relationship, but I want to be in the relationship my way. It's like without me getting hurt. And a lot of times it works, but again, it didn't work here. They are like, I don't understand why I give a shit. Well, because you can't control love. But then again, it scares them. It doesn't make them feel all like soft and cuddly and like, oh, yay, I have someone that loves me. No, this person like gets all overstimulated and begins to overthink, get in their own way, sabotage themselves, which, by the way, is what creates shame, right? So when somebody has a lot of negative energy, they don't like themselves. They don't like themselves because, again, sometime they lived in an environment where they were taught that, whether or not they were taught that by words or whether they were taught that by actions. So again, your person has trauma, and that trauma continues to play out in relationships that I believe that they always had the upper hand in. They don't have the upper hand now because there's unconditional love there. They're trying to handle this connection through logic. And that's why I'm laughing, because it's like, they're not getting good results, and they see that they're not getting good results. That's why they're judging the connection. Maybe it's witchcraft. Maybe it's bad. Maybe I shouldn't know. Maybe it's, again, I get involved with you. You're going to hurt me even more than everybody else does. But it just throws them in a real place of disequilibrium. And it's because of all of their, again, negative self-talk and doubt. Really, that's what it is. But this person has feelings for you, and the more that you're away and you're not doing anything, there's a sense of maybe you're meeting someone else. They're getting like a little bit jealous. Because again, there's a part of them that does want to believe in the impossible and does daydream about you. But they don't really know whether that could be true, for them. It's so there's a sense of that they want to come to you, but again, they're overthinking. So it's always like in the right time. So like more delays. It's almost like this person, it like winds up taking time also to take time for themselves, to go inward with inside of themselves, do a spiritual quest. And that is actually why they're not 100% coming to you. I believe this connection for them, because there's still this connection that they can't control, and that's really what's boggling them. It's like I judge the situation. It's like I judge the situation because I cannot control the situation. But again, so much thinking has exhausted this person, and overstimulating, just going around and around and around and around in circles with no relief, because you're not doing anything and they can't let go of the connection, but they don't really want to like come back. They don't want to be the one that has to apologize. They don't want to have to be the one that changes again, because they don't want to have to be the one that's vulnerable. But I believe that the universe is like, enough is enough, that you're actually neglecting yourself. That's what you're doing. You're neglecting this person, but what you're really doing is you're neglecting yourself from love. You don't believe you can have it. You don't believe it that you can have it due to your past experiences, but you want the connection. And this person wants a happily ever after connection, but they're also terrified of it. Like they don't really believe it can happen. I believe that this person also like was a narcissist, and what it is that they can mirror narcissistic tendencies, but I don't really think that they are a narcissist. I feel like they're so fearful that they were only considering themselves, so they appeared like a narcissist, but that's because they were dealing with a narcissist. But what's happening now is that you're not doing anything, and this person is getting really impatient. They're getting really impatient of the fact that you're not doing anything, you're not coming back, you're not, it's almost like the energy is so stagnant, and they know it's because they disappointed you, and that you're like just not going to take their shit anymore of being disrespected, and that you were tired of being sad because they are insecure. And it's all because, again, they're stuck in this fear energy. And that fear energy is not like, oh, I'm fearful. It's reflected out as self-righteous. As like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. So it backfired on them. That's why they're getting impatient. It's again because they're reflecting back on everything that they've done. But there's feelings that they can't control. So this person wants a new beginning. They want a new beginning. That's really what it is. They would like to start over. They feel like they could fix it, even if they just started off as a friend, right? They're like, they don't really know how to fix this connection. And it's up to you to like even though they want a relationship, to read between the lines. What they really want is a deeper relationship, but they don't really know how to like offer you that. So I do believe that they are going to come to you because they're going to get so uncomfortable. That's really what I feel like. They're uncomfortable. They can't control the situation. Time is ticking. They acted stupid. They should have given you the apology. They made a worse mistake ever. So again, I feel like the universe is shifting things up to make this person again drop their ego because of their pride. It's again the old structures of themselves. Due to this timeless connection that you and this person has, I feel like they're willing to like you're the catalyst, okay? You're the catalyst for their healing. Because again, there is a lot of passion, and this person does see you as courageous and does see. So I feel like, again, this person is going to come back, but I feel like they're on a vision quest now to healing. When they come out of that, it's again, they're going to look for that connection again. And again, you almost have all the ingredients, but being that you were so strong, it's really making this person surrender their ego. Really, those old structures need to come down. Pride. And that's how this reading opened up, with pride. And at the end, what Spirit is saying is that, you know, one way or the other way, though you want to change, run after this person or not, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice in who you have feelings for. And so this person felt like they could hold back. They're so uncomfortable now that they're really only punishing themselves. And that is bothering them even more, because it's like, you're not caring. They perceive that you're not caring. And I feel like, well, you're not caring because of the way that they treated you. So they're hoping, I'm sure, that they didn't completely ruin this relationship by the time that they come back. Now, the path to light, I make the conscious choice to move towards the light one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strength. By mastering my thoughts, I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts. I send my light to every being unconditionally. So really, what Spirit is saying is like, this connection, whether you stay with them or not, is irrelevant. It's that Spirit used you both to help each other, believe it or not. You're the catalyst for this person's healing. But I believe you holding your ground and really just being true to yourself, like, you didn't inherit any karmic retribution, number one. And number two, you didn't, like I said, I feel like it brought out things that you needed healing with inside of yourself. Now we're going to see what those things are. Because you're a magnet of whom what comes into your life. So if you decide to be with this person, like you said, I feel like they're coming to you as a different person because they're surrendering their ego, again, laying down their pride. However, that can be a tendency for them to just automatically do. So you would have to, again, lay boundaries, have boundaries with them, which this person knows. Again, you attracted this person again because of card number one is abandonment. These are your inner child wounds. Abandonment, number one, self-love. Number two, crafts and creativity. Number three, lies and secrecy. Number four, oppression. Five, and just one more, six, outdoors and nature. Well, I feel as if you were brought up in an environment where you felt like you didn't have the emotional support. There was abandonment issues. I also feel like that continued to play out within your relationship. And it was a way of, again, of oppressing you. And that's what this person actually did the same exact thing. It's like they didn't want to give to you. They wanted to keep a surface. They wanted to keep it like here for a good time, not a long time. Now, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't have kept you in for a long time, but they would have just compartmentalized you, which is, I have you for passion. That's it. So again, that would be the like make you shame over time, really. That's a way of oppressing you. It's a way of, not giving you emotionally what you need. And I feel like that was kind of like mirroring a little bit of a situation where you were kind of having to like hide a secret, but at your expense. So that could have happened in childhood where you had an alcoholic parent and you couldn't have your friends over, or you could never go to anyone's house after, because again, alcohol, some lies or secrecy. So it's somebody else's bad behavior that you would have to cover up. again, and in that it oppresses you because you're not really getting what you want. So it's a lack of self-love. So again, outdoors in nature, I always associate this card with intuition. And God, because God is in our outdoors. It's very grounding. It's the universe, and the universe always inspires to bring us everything that we need for healing. So I feel like you wound up in this situation, like you detached from this person. You gave yourself self-love, but you did so because you were able to tap into your intuition, and you put the energy into yourself, into your hobbies, your interests, the things which you were passionate about. And that is what's allowing you to stay, like, again, grounded and focused to being true to yourself. Where I feel like, again, this person is not healed, even though there is a connection, and they're just ready to work on the connection. And I feel like you would still need to be really strong, and still need to, like, give yourself the self-love, because this person will wind up, like I said, I feel like need to get from you emotionally before they feel safe enough to give to you emotionally. So you have to do it for yourself, because the karmic wound is abandonment. So you have to always make sure that you do not abandon yourself by giving to somebody that, again, isn't 100% going to give to you. That's like living lie, right? To hide how somebody else is. It steals your energy. And you knew, again, like I said, intuitively, the connection to source, the universe, also allowed you to get what you needed. And that's by, again, joining things, your hobbies, your interests, losing yourself, which was a form of self-love, which is what you needed to do in order to actually integrate the spiritual wound, right? That's what it's about. It's to learn is to do something different. To transmute that energy is then to do something with that energy. However, like I said, I feel like you are doing something with that energy. You're creating. So it's, again, that's why this person doesn't feel good, because, again, things didn't play out the way that they thought. They thought that, again, that they weren't going to be affected because they were never affected before. But you can't control that. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated with this one. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.